Okay, we continue our lecture. Network principles. Okay, each activity is presented in a box. As you can see here, the box we have uh, activity description at the upper part and we have activity number at the lower part. Okay, each activity is represent in a box by a box in the network diagram, and description of the activity is written within the box as shown in the figure. Okay, activity consume time and their description usually begin with verb, okay, such as get, wash, dry in this example. Activity have a dependent relationship. That is, they are linked in a logical sequence in a network diagram to show which activity must finish before another activity can start. Certain activity may have to be done in serial sequence, while for some activity may be done in concurrently. Okay, means that some of activity is done in the serial. As you can see here, okay, this is in serial, means one activity after another activity. Okay, while this is concurrent, mean you can do more than one activity at the same time. Okay, the next one is loop. Okay, what is loop? Loop is an illogical relationship among activity is known as a loop. Okay, in preparing a network diagram, drawing activity in a loop is not acceptable because it portrays a part of activity that perpetually repeat itself. You cannot do like this figure. Okay, you can see activity A, then activity B, then activity C, then activity A, back to activity A. So when the activity will finish, because we know project must have start and finish, must have specific time frame. But if A, B, C and loop back to A, B, C, the project will not be finished. So this is illogical relationship among activities and you cannot draw like this in your assignment. Okay. Okay, the next one is laddering. Okay, if you cannot see the picture, the figure, don't worry, you can refer to the attachment. Okay, some projects have a set of activities that repeat several times. The top figure, so the first figure at the top, show a series of activities that must be done in a serial sequence. Serial mean one by one, which mean that for an activity with 3 people, at any one time only one person is working while another 2 person are waiting, because the activity can be done in one by one. Okay, the middle figure. Okay, the middle figure show a set of activity that can be performed concurrently. Concurrently means 2 or more activity can be do at the same time. However, it is often not practical to perform the activity in this way because organization would need triple the expert, one for each room. So the activity here is for prepare room, paint room and trim room. Okay, if you can see here, I zoom. Okay, the first figure. Okay, you although you have 3 workers, but you only can use 1 worker at one time, compared to the middle figure. Okay, at the middle figure, you can see when you start the project, all the 3 room prepared by different person. So you will use 3 different person, and you will finish to prepare, paint and trim the room at the same time. Okay, while for the bottom figure, okay, show a technique known as laddering. Okay, laddering is approach that allow the project to be completed the shortest time possible while making the best use of available resources. Okay, figure number 1, you can use only 1 person at one time. Figure 2, you need to use 3 different person at one time. While for figure number 3, okay, at the day first, you use 1 person. At the second day or the next day, you use 2 person. And at the third day, you use 3 person. The next day, you use 2 person and 1 person at the last day. So how many people you use here? You use 3 person, but you only use 3 person only one day. Compared to figure number 2 or the middle figure, you use 3 different person for 3 days. So here, I want you to calculate if 1 person we pay for 50 ringgit per day. So if 3 person for 3 days, how much amount they need to pay compared to figure number 3. Okay, only one day they use 3 person, another day 2 day for 2 person and another 2 day for 1 person. So this is how they arrange their resources. Okay, for example, human resource, how they use their human resource to maximize the profit, to minimize the cost. Okay, this is the same picture. Okay, create network diagram. After this, in your assignment, you need to create a network diagram. A network diagram is a drawing of activities for project displayed in boxes. Okay, you need to remember, you need to draw it in boxes in their logical sequence and connected by arrow to indicate dependent relationship. The network diagram shows how the project should be performed from start to completion. 3 questions need to be answered regarding each activity. The network is based upon the answer. Which activity must be finished immediately before this activity can be started? Question number 2, which activity can be done concurrently with this activity? Question number 3, which activity cannot be started until immediately after this activity is finished? So you need to answer all these questions, then after that you can draw your network diagram. Okay, guideline for level of detail in the network diagram are: number 1, based on the work breakdown structure for a project, specific activities should be defined for each work package. Number 2, It may be preferable to draw a summary level network first that depict a small number of higher level activities and then expand to more detailed network. Number 3, the level of detail may be determined by certain obvious interface or transfer point, such as a change in responsibility, or if there is a tangible output or product or deliverable as a result of an activity. Number 4, activity should be no longer than estimate duration as the project progress review. Okay, it is not unusual to progressively elaborate the network diagram as the project progress, and more information will become more clearly. Subnetwork can be used to represent similar project for different customer. Certain portion of project may include the same type of activities in the same sequence with the same dependent relationship. Okay, here we have planning for information system development. This is the example of project that you will do in your assignment. Okay, this is the example. But you can choose any other project, not necessarily IT project. Any other project also can. Okay. Okay, after you collect all the information, okay, you need to develop your own responsibility assignment metric, RAM. So this is your group assignment. So no need to do it now, but I just want you to know that you will develop like this for your assignment. Okay, this is task list and predecessor. Okay, what is predecessor? Predecessor is the activity previously before you do the activity. For example, you can see activity number 1 is gather data. Immediate predecessor? No. Means no activity before activity number 1. Okay, understand? Okay, activity number 2, study feasibility. So no activity before activity number 2. So how your network diagram will look like if two activity number 1 and activity number 2 is concurrently and no activity previously. Okay, then followed by activity number 3, prepare problem definition report. The immediate predecessor is 1 and 2. Activity number 1 and activity number 2 is the predecessor for activity number 3. Okay, if you understand WBS and network diagram we learned previously, so you can develop your network diagram based on this activity list and immediate predecessor. Okay, this figure depicts a list of all tasks to be completed with the immediate predecessor for each task listed to the right of the task. Okay, so I want you to develop the network diagram based on this immediate predecessor table. Okay, this is your first unofficial assignment. Okay, I want you to submit next week. Okay. Okay, so if you take my words seriously, okay, and you see here, you can find your answer. Okay, your answer is here. Activity and activity 1 and activity number 2 is, you can do it concurrently. Okay. This figure represent the interdependencies listed in the immediate predecessor list. Okay, you can refer back to this table and you need to tally with this network diagram. Okay, this is how you practice how you want to develop your network diagram. Okay, practice how you read this one, web-based reporting system project, then you draw network diagram like this. After you draw the network diagram, then you check yourself. You can see whether you do it right or wrong. If you do it right, then you understand. But if you do it wrong, means you don't understand and you need to practice more before you start your assignment. Okay, project management information system. A wide variety of affordable project management information systems are available for purchases. This system allows the project manager and the project team to plan and control project in a completely interactive mode. Okay, means that the project manager and the project team can control the project in interactive mode. Mean if they are not in the same place, but if they are connected with the internet, they can communicate about the project development cycle. Planning and testing different options for task duration, dependencies, constraint, resource schedule, and cost can be completed in project management information system. Information system help project manager to create report, change management, network diagram, and Gantt chart. Okay, Gantt chart, you also need to learn how to create your Gantt chart based on your network diagram. Okay, project management information system also interface with other software application. Okay, after this, I want you to download a Microsoft project. Okay, download Microsoft project. Okay, so download Microsoft project in order to develop Gantt chart. Make sure next week all of you already download it, and you need to download it in your laptop. You cannot do it in your phone. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask me in our WhatsApp group. So please do not hesitate to ask any question. Inshallah, I will reply it. If you don't understand any part of our lecture today, you can ask me directly in the WhatsApp group so I can explain clearly. Okay? Okay, have fun.